Hey everybody, Mike DTV here. As you can see today, I am in a print shop and we are in the midst of printing a mass production print job. However, we've got a little bit of time as we're waiting for some additional proofs to come out. So I wanted to take a few minutes and show you how we print all of our prints, create our color profiles, and match the proofs that we're supplied. We'll stop for a minute and give you a little print education. You can see the print machines behind me. They're all about the same digital inkjet printers, CMYK. And CMYK is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Now, CMYK has a fairly limited color gamut. So what these printers do behind me is they add additional colors in there. So you can do 8 color, which is adding in light cyan, light magenta, light yellow, and actually a light black. And these printers also add an orange and a white that gives you an increased color gamut so that you can hit a wider range of colors. A standard 4-color CMYK printer can only hit about 60% of all of the Pantone colors that you get in a Pantone fan book. So as we add more color inks, we widen the color gamut, we are hitting more colors. The colors that we're printing today are right at the edges of the color gamut. So that's why we're having such a hard time matching them. These colors are really challenging to print with CMYK. We're putting them into the top printer so that we've got that extra orange, we've got those light blacks, the light cyans, to try and mix everything together and get a better output. So these are standard inkjet printers, and all of them have print nozzles that spray the ink onto the substrate that we're printing on. And the challenge that you have is that these things are going all day, every day, which means that those print nozzles wear out, they get a little out of whack, they get clogged. So how do we compensate for a printer knowing that the nozzles might not be outputting 100% of what the computer is telling them to output onto the substrate? Glad you asked. That brings us to color profiling. And this machine down here, which is one of the most important machines here in the print factory, is how we create color profiles to accommodate those errors that we get in each print machine. Let me show you. So what this machine here is the i1 color profiler. So what we do with this is on the substrate that we're going to print on the print machine that we're going to print on, we print this test print, and then this thing swings out, and it's got a high resolution camera here, and it can scan each of the individual color squares. And it knows what that color square is supposed to look like. It knows what it just scanned, and there's a difference, or there may be a difference, between those two things. And so it's going to create a color profile file that compensates for any errors in printing. So say the printer's laying down not quite enough magenta. It's going to compensate for that by laying down extra magenta in the color profile. So then we take the mechanical files that we receive, create a print-ready file that's can just be printed to that printer with all of the right adjustments applied through the color profile, so it should print correctly or very close to correctly when we print it on that printer on this substrate. All right, what you see here, pretty much the last step in the process. This is called a drawdown. Hard to see because the camera is adjusting white balance, but each of these squares is slightly different from the other in terms of its lab values. And then we use that, like right here, these two look, this is a little lighter. So we use these squares to try and get a little bit closer to the mark. You can see there's quite a few squares. We keep printing these larger test prints. We're getting close, but we're not 100% there. It's still a little light. This one's a little dark. This one's way too dark. So we're gonna keep going, but yeah, these drawdowns help you get kind of that last 5% of where you need to be with your print file. It's that last 2% that's killing us right now. So this one, clearly too light. These ones, we're getting there. I think that one's a little too dark. I think I'm between these two, honestly. Let's print a larger one of these two and see what that looks like. And that's it. That is how we create print color profiles, print digital inkjet, and hopefully match the colors that are supposed to be in that file. So we're going to continue working. This was just a brief interlude. I've got lots of colors that we need to match today, so we're going to get back to work. We'll see you soon.